Because we're here in Georgia, I want to focus the rest of my comments on one of the most insidious issues that we have to confront right now: voter suppression. You saw it firsthand. It's why one of the most talented people in the nation, Stacey Abrams, isn't your governor today in the state of Florida. Voter suppression is on the rise in America. It's just like everything got let out when he got elected. Everything. Folks, there are over, if I'm not mistaken, close to 75 initiatives in over 36 or 38 states introduced to reduce the capacity and the right and access to voting. Let me be clear about something. It isn't voter fraud. There's zero evidence of that. It isn't about making it harder. It's about making it harder for people of color to vote, including Hispanics and Americans. It's a direct descendant of the poll tax, or when black voters were presented with a jar of jelly beans and asked to guess how many were in it before they could cast their vote. It's nothing less than a methodological assault, a methodical assault on our democracy. So we have to keep fighting. That's what I've been doing my entire life, to protect this sacred right to vote. As Dr. King put it so plainly, voting is the foundation stone of public action. That's why they've worked so hard. And we, in return, have worked so hard to expand Voting Rights Act every time it's come up for reauthorization. I've worked to strengthen protections for voting access, to make sure there is a paper trail for electronic voting, to ensure poll workers are properly trained. Folks, there should be automatic registration to vote when you turn 18 years of age. In 2006, when we unanimously authorized the Voting Rights Act in the Senate, I felt we finally got past the fight. Then what happened? In 2013, the Supreme Court cut the heart out of the Voting Rights Act in a deeply misguided decision. Justice Ginsburg, who I was proud to have supported, likened it to throwing your umbrella away in a rainstorm because you weren't getting wet. Well, we're soaking now, folks. As I said, at least 24 states have enacted over 70 bills to curtail the right to vote for people of color. As of last month, 35 states enforced or scheduled to enforce voter ID laws. It's just un-American, as it was during Jim Crow. So there's only one thing to do. We have to win. We have to win. None of the plans we all have, and my colleagues, I think we all agree on this, none will succeed without doing the first thing: beat Donald Trump. Period. I promise you this, as a woman who still should be the Attorney General of the United States, she was acting, sitting in front of me. The Biden administration of justice will once again protect the fundamental right to vote. And I'll lead the fight for laws that affirm protections of voting rights and make sure it's easier for people to exercise that right. Voter registration, I said, should be automatic. We need to do more to harden our voting systems against outside electoral influence. I can't go into the detail, but I promise you, it's not just Trump himself. It is the Russians who are still engaged in trying to alter our system. Look, we can all do this, but we have to vote. That's why we're here tonight, to support the DNC's I Will Vote campaign and generate some enthusiasm for our candidates up and down the ballot. We know what the Republican strategy is. They want to disengage and disenfranchise us. They want Democrats to be divided and go at each other's throats. But we're not going to have it. We're going to get every single informed registered voter committed to turning out on Election Day. And we're going to make sure that every vote is counted. Folks, I know we can do this. For all the challenges we face, I know this country what they're capable of.